Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw for Insider Travel Report, and I'm here today with Paul Barry, who's the CEO of Avanti Destinations. And we've talked to Paul before in the past, but we wanted to get an update on what exactly is going on with Avanti Destinations today. And there's a lot, believe me, there's a lot, and it all involves supporting travel advisors. And you're going to hear about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Paul, first of all, great to see you here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, it's great. Well, we haven't talked for a while. My business partner has talked with you in the past, but we wanted to get a nice video view of what's going on with Avanti. So tell us about Avanti Destinations today and just sort of set the table, because maybe there's some travel advisors who may not know the company, although it's hard to believe.
Well, Avanti Destinations, we're now in our 45th year, soon to come up for our 45th anniversary in October. We've always been a B2B business, selling direct only to travel advisors, doing customizable vacations, principally to Europe, but also to Latin America, Asia, and we recently added the South Pacific.
Mm-hmm. But you are always been kind of an FIT specialist. I think you really are. When I think of FIT, I think of Avanti.
That's correct. We actually do groups as well.
You do groups. Yeah.
That is a new department, and that's been a part of the trend in travel these days, that larger family groups are traveling together. And it's been a natural evolution of Avanti as a business. And 2025 was a tremendous year for us. We experienced good growth. And we've improved our service levels, I believe, where travel advisors can now connect with us at all hours, opening up our Manchester office.
Yeah, I heard about that. You now have a Manchester, UK office. We were just talking about football a second ago, but which is Manchester is known for. But this allows you to have longer hours, and travel advisors can get in touch with you almost at any time, right?
They can, certainly by phone. Being out on the road visiting advisors last year, I used to ask the question, who gets up early and starts work on their on booking their customers' travel trips? And some people put their arm up and said 4 a.m. I said, well, you can call Avanti at 4 a.m. Now, this was on the West Coast. Okay. And the calls would get answered by our team in Manchester that opened up 2 years ago. And so we've expanded our hours now so that we can handle calls for close to 16 hours a day across time zones from the West Coast office in Portland as well as in Manchester. And it's been a big boon. We've seen great expansions of the hours, and that just matches how travel advisors today do work.
That's very well. I mean, most of them are remote. Many of them are remote, and they may be traveling themselves somewhere in a different time zone.
And many of them have work lives that do involve non-standard hours, as I'd like to call it.
That's true. Well, if you work for yourself, you work at any time you want. Now, I want to talk to you about, I just want to emphasize that thing, and you would like to emphasize this because most suppliers have at least some direct business, but you don't at all, right?
We don't at all. It's been a foundation of Avanti since its beginning nearly 45 years ago, just working strictly Avanti travel consultants through travel advisors out there. It's something that we're very proud of.
And there's no chance you're changing that policy anytime soon?
No, our staff are very adamant about that they're fully supportive of working solely with travel advisors out there.
Yeah, so now one of the things you've been doing, and I've noticed we get your press releases all the time, and you've been partnering with destinations, whether it's countries or regions, and really setting up websites and training and all kinds of things to educate travel advisors about those destinations. And it's pretty interesting about how many different partnerships you have, right?
We have a very extensive marketing campaign and a very big library of various educational videos and programs that we do with travel advisors. And part of that also includes having online brochures, which a lot of companies have, but we also have, we've gone back to the old traditional way of doing what we now call advisor reference guides, which in old school was called a brochure.
Okay, but these are also electronic, right?
They're electronic as well, but we've just finished our Europe one that's just come out, and there's been immense demand for it. I've noticed going again out on the field, our our regional sales directors have told us how much advisors appreciate actually having printed literature as well as having the online resources that we have.
Well, sometimes it's always good to go back to the future, right?
Back to the past. Sometimes there's some good parts about the past, as always, as well as some things that have moved on and evolved.
And what are some of the partnerships you did? Because I can't keep track of them, because I literally once a month I get a release telling me about a new partnership you formed with destinations.
Yes, we do mostly with geographic destinations, but sometimes with specific modes of transportations, like we've done partnerships with Europe, explaining how Avanti is very big into rail, or we've done emerging destinations or emerging areas within top destinations. In Japan, we've done some on some of the regions there, and also in Central and South America as well. So they're always a part with highlighting and showcasing new areas that advisors may be interested in.
No, that's great, and I think there's incredible resources for travel advisors to learn how to sell the destination overall, and hopefully they'll do it, yes, through Avanti, right?
They will. I think one of the key things about Avanti today, and kind of the moving on from that, is the tools that we actually provide for them. FITs can be very daunting, especially for new advisors today, and how to have that conversation with your client, who in many cases may know a little bit more about the area that they really want to travel to.
With the web today, I mean, they probably do their research in advance, and now with AI and things like that, right?
They certainly can. And so with the Avanti InstaQuote program that we have and that we're doing, we're white labeling some of our resources that we use internally that travel advisors can use to give out to their clients. But it's a lead generation tool as well as a inspiration tool. So it's something that when we demonstrate it to advisors, it allows the conversation to happen a lot quicker on what the customer actually wants.
No, and that's great. Those tools are amazing. One of the things I've always wondered, because you have so many products, hotels, activities, day tours, all these different things to keep track of. How do you source all of that and make sure they're all up to standards that you like?
Well, we have quite an extensive teams of product managers that work with our various partners throughout the world. Our product team is split between our office in Portland and another one of our service offices over in Barcelona, Spain. And we keep it all within our own internal system that we're able to connect to all of these various hotels, sightseeing, experiences, rail, air throughout the world. It's a unique system that we have, and it all can come together through either a phone call, an email, or what a lot of advisors do today is use our planners on the web. And the InstaQuote is actually kind of pushing that out directly to the consumer to let them be able to search themselves, but under the advisor's name.
That's amazing. So you're sort of, as you said, you're white labeling that product, and that's a great thing for advisors. Now, one of the things, what's trending in this year, really? What's selling well? I believe Europe is always a top seller, but what else are you seeing is something that people are going? You mentioned Japan. I suppose that's also trending as well.
Well, Japan has been the destination that's seen tremendous growth post-pandemic. Also within Europe, there's also Portugal's been and still is an exceedingly...
I love Portugal. That's an amazing destination.
It's a very hot destination. The other areas, what we've noticed actually is that people are actually expanding out beyond what I would call the honeypot cities, all the well-known ones, the Rome, the Florence, the Venices, if you go into Italy, and they go into places like Puglia, Sicily, or if they're going into the France, which has experienced a big rebound. Obviously after the Olympics, that's very common, but going out into the French regions, out down to Bordeaux, down to the south of France, etc., those areas are experiencing a lot of growth now compared to the bigger cities, which are experiencing obviously big rebounds of their own. Sure. But the experienced American travelers do like to get out into the countrysides to experience the real authentic parts of the country.
And you can offer those services now. What's to come in 2026 and beyond? Are you considering any other destinations you'd like to get into?
I feel as though the real growth in destinations is going to be within our existing destinations and expanding them out further. We've also seen, as I mentioned earlier, a big growth in family travel. That's very common. Most operators do talk.
So that's your group travel too. That's also.
They're mini group travels, anywhere from 8 to 15 people. There's been a big growth. People like to, as we were talking earlier at breakfast today, it's less about going to the destination, about going with the people you want to travel with, and then have an experience with those people in a destination. And we can arrange a lot of private sightseeing and private tours that allow those experiences to be had.
Yeah, that's great. So you see you're going to be expanding in your existing destinations, not necessarily going out to other. I mean, I don't know, you cover so much already. That's one of the things.
And it's about having the experiences in those places. We do work with our local partners throughout the world in creating real authentic experiences that are done by locals who are really proud and want to showcase what they do, see, eat, etc. in those areas. Food and drink is one of our big things at Avanti. Whether you're in our offices, you would know that because we constantly have weekly food events.
Why are you doing that with this interview in your office? I don't know. We're in New York, actually. But
yes. But just going on that, it's a part of our sustainable, part of how we see the business in our supply chain. It's another part of really what we're showcasing as a business is how we work sustainably from booking trips to making sure that the money that our customers spend stay locally and stays within the country, and utilizing local resources on wherever we end up sending customers.
Now, anything else you want to tell our 125,000 travel advisors out there about Avanti Destinations today?
Yeah, our value proposition is a very, very simple one. We'll save you time. And what I mean by that, and time today is a very valuable resource. Time is money. We will partner with you on wherever you're at on your customer's journey in helping arrange the trip, whether you want to do a quick quote, and we can quote usually on the phone, on the first phone call, if it is a phone call, via email, via our travel planner, and you can be very adaptive using our technology. So we like to believe that we can help you have the most streamlined quotation process, and then once the customers travel, we've greatly enhanced our in-travel service with our office in Barcelona, so that we're now handling in the summer pretty much 20 hours a day of customer service to deal with all issues that may happen in travel today. I think most of us know travel can be quite challenging.
It can be, but if you have the support, and like as you do, it'll be a lot easier. And I also love the fact that you can do everything online, but you can get a real person, a destination expert on the phone, and either talk to them about planning it, or obviously talk to them when your client is on the trip. Right?
That's correct. The in-travel service is handled by our multilingual staff over in Barcelona, and then that shifts over to the US hours in Portland. But yes, in our quotation process, we now have a lot of destination experts, especially in our non-Europe areas, who are really expert in those areas. Those are the only things that they focus and sell. So it can provide travel advisors with a level of expertise that they don't actually have themselves, but they can rely upon us, and we try to make the travel advisor look as good as possible.
And that's key, because then so you work with Avanti, you can look good, and your client's going to have a great time. Where can travel advisors who may not work with you go to find out more about Avanti Destinations?
Well, first of all, just go to our website and register on avantidestinations.com.
Okay, and then you have a special, I remember there's a special, once you are registered, there's a booking site, right?
That's correct. There's a planner, and you can do that either in the beginning mode and expert mode. I recommend that they call first time. Right. We love dealing with new advisors. because we want to help them and figure out where they are on that journey and how they want to work for each individual customer. And we find that travel advisors, depending on the interest level from the customer, we've obviously got preset itineraries and pre-priced that they can just send out very, very quickly to them to get that conversation going, or they can do a detailed quote if they know what their customer wants.
That's where the InstaQuote comes out.
That's where the InstaQuote can be sent out to the customer to really focus that conversation onto something that is bookable for what the customer wants through their advisor.
Well, Paul, it's great to see you here. It's great to get an update on what's going on with Avanti. I've always thought your product is an amazing one for travel advisors, and those that use it know how good you are. And I'm sure that those who are still out there looking for a great FIT or group specialist will try to go to you now and see what's going on with all the destinations that you sell.
Well, thank you, James, and we're going to carry forward into our 45th year, continuing to grow and continuing to support the advisor community.
I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.